right, guys, welcome back. It is the GSL Team League. We've got F.United represented by Thorzane right there against MVP Genius.
Not Dongrigu.
Not Dongrigu. I almost said it. I was like, MVP. Wait a second. But Dongrigu, not in the right mindset.
Yeah, that's what we were discussing earlier. We could see it in his face. He lost today.
Yep.
He is the Terran killer, but guess how many Terrans are left on this team? Just Thorzane and Lin, and he might not even run into any Terrans after that. It'd be a shame if, you know, Naniwa came and crushed him afterwards. It just wouldn't be a good situation.
I would love to see Naniwa PvP against Genius. That would be a great game.
Yeah, we may end up seeing that if Genius does end up winning here, but we'll find out. The map is going to be Belshire Beach. We were discussing this also during the break.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting choice. We think we're probably going to see an all-in from Genius, but it might not be. It is a map you can play macro on. Let's find out here. Can F.United and Thorzane finish off their opponent MVP, or will Genius kill the remaining players?
Good job, Wolf.
What's he got else to say?
All right. Well, here is the hero of Sweden himself. Found out his name means nothing, but it still sounds cool.
F.United, Thorzane.
I guess people are speculating it may come from the painkiller Thorzane, I guess. I don't know. I'll ask him later. Either way, I think it sounds like Thor bringing the hammer of the gods down, possibly on this guy from MVP, the last hope of the team. He is
MVP Genius.
MVP Genius. You know, I always secretly root for this guy whenever I see him play because he used to have a lot of success and then he's had a hard time. I'd like to see him be dominant again. But
he is one of my favorite players, actually.
Yeah, he's really good.
He was in the NEX clan and NSP as well, and then of course joined the MVP team. I really, really like this guy. He's a strong player, always unpredictable. Thorzane going to be taking some gas here.
Yep. Now,
very difficult to one-rack expand on this map versus Protoss. The natural is just so wide.
It is. It's actually not a bad map at all for Protoss. It seems like you can do a lot of different things. It is a little bit newer map, so we haven't seen, all that much TVP. In fact, I think I recall QXC this morning actually saying, I don't think I've ever seen the TVP on Belshire Beach. Well, if he was watching right now, he is. But yeah, it's interesting. I've actually seen quite a few.
Well, we saw one earlier today.
Yeah, we did. But I don't know.
I love this Pro-Brass here. It's making it so that Thorzane can't mine all those minerals constantly.
But now he has a mineral, so he can't mine.
Yeah,
there's no drop mineral button in StarCraft 2.
Only return cargo.
That's right. You gotta take it back to the base. No returns. You don't get a receipt for those minerals. Reactor? Yeah, well, he might just... He's probably going for well, actually, I was going to say he's going to go for a 2 barracks expand with the reactor, which would be normal, but he got that reactor without the second barracks. So, could just be a 1 racks expand with the reactor as well. I mean, if you do the reactor as soon as you have 50 gas, it's you're behind in Marines for the first 2 cycles, and then you start to get ahead. So, if he's got some time, it's okay.
Genius actually is chrono boosting warp gate research only right now, and he has a lot of chrono boost saved up. So that could end up meaning something here. We're going to find out. Chrono boosting it yet again. I think he's going to do a 2 gas 5 gate all. And the problem, though, with doing that on this map is that there's that high ground area. It's very difficult for Genius to assault that.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Thorzane's probably going to go for that Marine tank Banshee all in.
It's entirely possible. It's starting to look like that now.
Now that I look at it more.
Yeah. Getting the reactor Marines up, starting to get that Marine cut up. And Genius in the main base of Genius, adding 2 gateways. No more than 2 right now.
Well, I suppose, what do you think the chances are of him just going for a 3-gate expand and then pressuring?
It's entirely possible. It's odd to me that he's been chrono boosting this warp gate and he saved up so much chrono energy if he's going to be doing this attack. I mean, if he's not going to be doing this attack, rather. Because having that warp gate research out super fast when you don't even have your gates up and running yet seems a little bit odd to me.
I could be worrying. Do you think of any sort of 2-racks pressure possible?
It's possible that he's worried about that. Now we did see, of course, the gas and the barracks, so he's got to be very careful about how he plays this next. He is definitely going to be doing a 3-gate expand now. I mean, everything's starting to come together. And actually, the timing on that warp gate research finished at exactly the same time as the other 2 gateways did. So something that he's actually planned. Going to make the next though before using this. It looks like.
And Thorzane looks like he is indeed going to be doing.
Well, guys, what if we talked about recently about scouting gas and then doing builds that don't involve robos and making a Nexus? What if we talked about? What if we
he's
learned?
making a robo now.
He is going to make a robo. This is smart, but he's making a Nexus also.
We've seen a lot of people lose to it.
Yes.
That's what we've seen.
And it's almost impossible to hold a Nexus versus the Marine Banshee timing attack with few SCVs. Now, what's even more difficult is when you have to do it on a map like this, where there's a place where you can put your tanks where Zealots can't attack them very easily. Things get really out of hand. Now, basically, I mean, we already know what's about to happen. You guys know, I know.
I know. John
Now,
knows.
can Thorzane pull this off? Will Genius be able to hold this? Maybe the first time I've actually talked like this and someone holds this. It's going to take a miracle, I think, though. Genius is a genius.
You know, we have seen players hold it. We've seen Huck hold it against MMA, actually. So, you know, we have seen players hold it. It is very difficult, but it's doable. It's going to come down to a lot of control. He's going to have that faster robo. I'm kind of curious to see if he's going to go for the robotics bay right away to go for Colossi, or if he's just going to try to make Immortals.
If he does that, he'll have a better chance than if he tries to make Immortals.
A lot of people do try to make Immortals, though, to kind of like take out the tanks, and that tends to not really work all that great.
Yeah, it only works in certain situations if you can get your Immortals positioned in the right place. If you can somehow hide them, then flank or something like that. That's one way you can make that work. He's making the Observer now, so you can get the first glimpse. You know, with he's sent one Observer out. He's making a second one just in case of Cloak, but he's basically going to get the first glimpse here pretty soon of what his opponent is doing. He's going to be really displeased. And this isn't just the regular Marine tank. This is the Reactor first Raven Banshee Marine tank all in.
And the Raven's going to make sure that Observer doesn't live too long, just long enough to go, ah!
Yeah, this is basically the part where Genius goes, oh no,
boy.
I wish I didn't do this build. And the Korean commentators are going crazy because this is... Genius feels the same way, man. He is actually panicking right now.
He's trying to get out Immortal, but it's probably not going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, he's warping in Zealots. Guess what? Guess what he has for anti-air? He's got 4 sentries and a Stalker, and that's just it, man. There are a few Banshees in this. He's going to be rallying more behind it, and when he runs out of Stalkers and sentries, guess what? Those Banshees are going to kill everything else that exists.
Everything, it's true. Even the Scantipedes.
Even the Scantipede. Force Field's going down, trying to slow this down, trying to buy himself time.
Yeah.
I like this.
That's what he's got to do. I mean, he's got to try to make this go as slowly as possible.
He may even want to add some photon cannons. I don't know, though. He just doesn't have enough money. This is just so difficult to hold.
Yeah.
And he may start bunkering. I think the SCVs are probably going to start bunkering here.
Oh, absolutely.
He's going to move the tanks forward. Genius is in trouble.
And is Thorzane going to all-kill MVP? We're about to find out right now. Here we go.
Guardian shield is up. Force Field's behind the Marines, but the Zealots not even attacking. There's actually probes in their way, and the Zealots falling very quickly. The Banshee's being targeted.
That's a lot of Stalkers, and the tanks are not sieged up. Only one tank sieged up.
Is he going to hold this? Genius is going to hold this, I think. He's going to kill the last siege tank. Genius making miracles happen here today at the GSL. The last Banshee falls.
You know, he lost a lot of probes in that engagement. But, you know, he's still only very, actually it's tied up right now with Thorzane. So he's still, you know, on even footing. And I gotta say, that engagement that Thorzane did, it didn't look that good.
He didn't have his tanks sieged the entire time. His tanks were split in a weird way.
Yeah,
he
was one back in the back.
He was doing like he did against Zerg, where he had his tanks really spread.
Yeah,
but you want to have all your tanks firing in this case, because the Marines are going to block. Their Zealots are never going to get to the tanks. You don't have to worry about like speedlings. Speedlings don't exist here.
Well, there you go, Wolf. Your dream came true.
Oh man, I am actually so excited that Genius was able to hold this with the build that he did. And part of it came down to Thorzane's miscontrol, but also Genius did a great job with his force yields. He bought more time. He got the second Immortal out. He made enough Stalkers there in the end. Great unit composition. He added a 4th gateway during all of it. I mean, I couldn't talk about all the intricacies as it was happening. He did all the right things though. And now he's pulling ahead in worker count. Thorzane is in a tough spot right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we might actually have to see another player. Oh, SCV's coming again.
Yeah, he's got to do this.
I don't know how well this is actually going to work, though.
It's going to be difficult. There are, right now, in total 6 Zealots out. Those Zealots are going to do a ton of damage to those SCVs. The SCV's not going to be able to tank very easily.
Yeah.
There aren't that many Marines. There's only about 10 Marines here.
Well, you know what they say, Wolf? If your all-in fails, all-in again.
And it looks like this has been spotted.
Yep. going to want to siege up those tanks, get the Marines and SCVs in position. He's going to go after the Nexus.
Guardian shields up, Probes fighting SCVs.
Yep.
Banshee's targeting down the Sentry, and I think Genius is going to be able to hold this no problem.
This is going to be a cakewalk for the Protoss army. Expect a GG from Thorzane. There it
GG,
is.
well played.
Yeah.
Genius bringing it back.
Wow, MVP Genius holding a push that Wolf and I have not seen held for quite a while in the GSL. Thorzane, what a great run, taking out 3 players in MVP. He's got to be kicking himself a little bit for that engagement, but there's Genius getting a nice big round of applause from the crowd and his team. He's gonna be pretty happy, Wolf.
I'm happy
You're
for
pretty
him.
happy.
You know, that build is so hard to stop, but Genius knew just how to do it. He takes his hat, he's going to give it to that guy in the crowd. He was very thankful.
Yay, hat time. I thought he was going to go give it to Thorzane or something. So, we are not done yet. MVP, it's like the guy in the cart in Monty Python. I'm not quite dead yet. But I think he's got a lot more life than that guy in the cart. He's going to go for a walk, Wolf.
Yeah.
That's right. So who is FXOunited going to send out next? I hope they send out Naniwa. I would love to see Naniwa versus Genius PvP.
I think Naniwa is a smart choice.
I think it is. Yeah.
They don't have to send him out first, though. The thing about sending out Naniwa is that PvP is a weird matchup to where anything can go wrong. And Naniwa is actually really good at PvP. But even so, if they send Naniwa out, it could just end everything and then it's over. But if they send out another player like Lin and try to tire him out, but then Naniwa is still like, if you're tired, if Genius gets tired, then going PvP later is like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, well, you're not really, I mean, you don't have to do that much macro in PvP, so it's not really a good matchup to send. So I think sending out Naniwa first would be smarter.
I agree.
But that's just me, because PvP is kind of like, things go, things happen, it's over, it's like, you win or you lose.
You know, the only other person I can think of really is Lin. I think he might do well.
Moon might do well also, though. Soccer sending him out to PvP would be interesting.
Yeah, he's so improving, though, you know? I mean, that the GSTL is a little bit for that.
We saw some bad PvPs with Soccer in the individual league in Code A. He didn't want to cancel his Colossus to get an observer when he saw DTs. All right, let's find out who they have chosen.
Who's it going to be? Everyone's biding their time.
Moon! Oh, that's
is-
not Moon. Is that? I could.
I don't know.
No,
That
it's
is
Soccer.
It's
I
actually Soccer.
couldn't see his face.
All right, so Soccer, you know, one of the nice things about the Team League is that you can give a little bit of experience to the newer players.
Yeah, and Soccer's actually the last person I expected to pick. Lin thinks that's a good choice.
He likes the music. Like bobbing his head there. So here is We Made Fox Soccer. Haven't seen him a whole lot in the GSL. One loss, that was in Code A. And that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah. And that was, of course, in the PvP, I believe, against Bonbons. Back in Code A last season. Now, sending out Soccer, to me, I think, is kind of a weird move. It means that the F.United coach actually thinks that Soccer's PvP is better than Naniwa's.
Well, he could be kind of saving it. It's like you said, you know, if that PvP doesn't work out, he may be tiring Genius out by PvPing and then send out Naniwa next.
Well, then the problem,
Otherwise,
but basically what I was saying about that, though, is that if they send out this guy and he PvPs, PvP is not a matchup where if you're tired, it's really going to affect you. As much as another matchup, like if you had to play PvZ and Moon is just like doing this crazy macro game and he's tired, that would really affect him. But anyway, we'll just have to see. I mean, Soccer, he played badly in one individual league best of 3. We can't really judge him based on that. I feel like I'm judging him too much. We'll see how he does here.
Oh, looks like Genius accidentally pulled out the power cord there. Definitely want to plug that back in before the game starts.
Might need that, Genius. Does that mean Genius won the last game actually without a monitor?
Wow, he's like so good.
Like holds the attack without even having a display?
That's amazing. That's the secret. You just close your eyes and feel the force.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Feel the force of
with the
Genius.
monitor off, how am I supposed to see?
He's like trying it with the blast shield down. That's how it is. Obi-Wan comes up and like pulls out his monitor cord.
And yeah, and he's like trying to
now
like
try playing
target down the
with the
siege
monitor
tanks
off.
with his immortals. He hears the immortals like Ibakai or whatever. They're like he like hears. He's like, this is what I have targeted. And he like goes and attacks
He's
the
like
siege
moving
tank.
his mouse. He's like, yep. And that's how Genius won that last game. Yeah,
That's how it happened. That's how you hold it. The only way you can do it is if your monitor's
True.
unplugged.
Just unplug the monitor cord and feel it. That's right.
That absolutely didn't happen. That was actually Genius's beautiful control and his time buying techniques.
And a little bit of a miscontrol by Thorstein,
Yeah,
too.
that came into play a little bit as well.
Yeah, it almost seems like Terran needs to make a little bit of a mistake, too, for that to be held off. I hate saying that because then it feels like it's like this invincible build or something. But, it's one of those things where it's much easier to execute than it is to defend against.
Well, there's that, but not only that, but on top of it, the Pros just did. If you scout gas and you don't get a fast robo and see what he's doing, you're just playing risky. You're just playing risky. That's
what it is.
Just it. You're just playing risky.
It's just what it is. So, the other reason, we were talking about the player choices too. They may just decide to go with 2 non-Koreans and 2 Koreans. We saw Phoenix and Thorzane already. Now we're seeing soccer, so we might see one of the other, Korean players on the team, equal time and all that. Otherwise, Naniwa, the other thing too is that he's actually not living in the team house with the rest of the team. He's actually living at StarTale right now. So
that's very true as well, yeah.
So there might not be that cohesion, right?
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of different choices, and I'm sure the coach knows better than we do because we know these players' skills. We talk to them, we're friends with them, but we haven't been sitting in the team meetings. They kept us out of those. We're like, can you tell us our secrets? They're like, no, sorry, Wolf, you can't know. I know you're going to give the secrets to Dongri Gu. That's why Dongri didn't show up, because I told him all the secrets. He knows what's going on.
I see. That's horrible. It's horrible of you.
F.United's like, wait, we expected Dongri Gu to come out last. It changes all of our plans.
Like, they look over at Wolf, and he's like, yes. No. I did hear from Sase, though, that Nani was really liking it at StarTale. There's a lot of good players at StarTale, too, to kind of hang out with and have fun with.
StarTale's a great team.
Yeah.
Obviously, Torch even hung out with them. They like foreigners.
He used
Torch,
to be on the team.
So, yeah, he was on their team. He spent a lot of time with StarTale, and he has a lot of experience with them as well. And
yep.
Great
Mr.
team.
Juan, their coach, is a lot of fun to hang out with, too. Definitely.
A lot of rumors about their new logo. I don't know what it means.
It's a star.
I just had to bring that up.
It's a star.
It's a great team.
It tells a tale.
Logo,
Wolf.
I'm not sure so much about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could see it like on a backpack.
Yeah. I could see it in like a Super Mario game, like Mario Party or something.
True.
You get
Mario,
that star, you pay 20 coins, and then you get in first place, and all your friends get really mad because they just happened to get teleported across the side of the map because they land on a question mark space. That's like my childhood, man. I played so many Mario Party games.
It's a rough childhood, man. Like that and Smash Brothers. You had a rough N64 childhood.
Well, the Smash Bros. Tournament I played wasn't the N64 one.
That's right. Well, you know what I mean.
But yeah.
It could also be like if you do a spelling test and you get everything right, teacher puts like a little sticker on there with a star.
I was actually really good at spelling. I won a lot of contests with that back in the day. Spelling B's, I always accidentally said the wrong letter out loud.
Like, I didn't mean that letter.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. These guys are going to duke it out on dual site.
The map that, of course, Soccer has chosen.
Yep.
Feels pretty comfortable playing PvP here.
Yeah. And, wow, I mean, I'm just like, I'm so surprised. I mean, I feel like MVP thought that this was going to be a bit of a cakewalk. And, boy, were they wrong. But let's get into the game right now. Genius versus Soccer here at the GSTL with Doa and Wolf. Don't go anywhere.